As far as the continental system is concerned, the judge himself has to inquire, investigate, and it's not an adversarial system, but it's a system what I suppose could be inquisitorial system, which could be described as, where a judge does a lot more of the investigative, as it were, intellectually investigative exercise, only assisted by lawyers, and there isn't really a typical adversarial position. But there is a joke that I was told by somebody who was accompanying a visiting continental judge who sat on the Supreme Court bench with our Supreme Court judges to just see how adjudication is done at the highest level in our country. And apparently over lunch he inquired of one of the Supreme Court judges of that time, how are judges appointed? I mean, where do you come from? What is the background of judges of your country? And the judge said, the Supreme Court, Indian Supreme Court judge said, you saw those lawyers in front of us, didn't you, arguing? And we are all from that community. We start off as lawyers, and then we become High Court judges, and from High Court we come to the Supreme Court and become Supreme Court judges, and on a special occasion someone is picked directly from the bar and made a judge. And he then smiled and said, oh my God, I now understand why all of you from the bench speak so much. You can't give up the old habit of speaking as lawyers because that's what you've trained up in and that's what you've grown up in. So even when you become judges, you can't stop speaking. And I think that's probably true. Our judges speak the most in the rest of the world. Nowhere do judges speak as much as our judges speak. But sometimes very usefully, sometimes very, very beneficially for us, because the words of wisdom guide us and help us move forward in a particular way. But be that as it may, I think this is really a rich compendium of a lot of information that you have collected at first hand. And obviously you have been able to find a way into the hearts and minds of the top people in the world of the judiciary in Europe and India. And I think that this is, in a sense, a very, very, very special gift that you give to us as friends of Europe, and you give to those Indian youngsters who want to grow up in this global village and who want to go out and practice in Europe and invite Europeans to practice in our country. I do realize that the Bar Council and many of our colleagues at the Bar have some misgivings about practicing in each other's countries, issues of reciprocity and what have you. And the recent judgment of the Madras High Court saying that we are okay with lawyers who fly in and fly out, but we are not happy with lawyers who are going to establish themselves here. Well, this is as the law stands today, and as this is how our attitudes are today. But I can imagine that your book is going to break a lot of barriers because the pictures that you have given, the details that you have provided, your personal experiences, the warmth with which you have been received in so many jurisdictions, and the insights that you're going to provide to opportunity of intellectual battles in courtrooms across Europe, I think are going to reach out to a lot of young people, and they would say that why don't we reach out and create a dialogue by which we can share in a more meaningful way and in a more sustained manner experiences of each other. Justice, after all, and truth, after all, is the same everywhere. Just as darkness is considered not so good, and light is considered lovely. But there are differences, and I will tell you, and I'll finish it with this. I once spoke to Senator Moynihan, who was one of the top both diplomats and administrators of the United States of America, and I was describing to him an encounter with the Pakistani colleagues at the Geneva Human Rights Commission, and I was talking about the problem that we faced with Pakistan wanting to table a resolution against India on human rights and and issues relating to Kashmir. And he was looking more and more puzzled and confused as I kept talking about how it was important for us to fight that, Pakistan trying to place a resolution on the table against us. And after about 10 minutes, he said, I still don't understand. Why should you be worried if somebody puts tables a resolution? I said, why? Because you table a resolution, you are questioning us, you're questioning our standing, you're questioning our truthfulness, you're questioning our behavior, you're questioning our conduct. He said, but you don't do that by tabling a resolution. So I said, why don't you do that if you table a resolution? He said, what exactly do you mean by tabling a resolution? I said, a tabling resolution is when you put something on the table of the House and say, I want this debated because I believe this is what is happening. He said, oh gosh, I see. You know, in the United States of America, when you table a resolution, it means that's the end of the resolution. Right? So I couldn't understand why you were getting so angry and upset about a resolution being tabled. So there are obviously differences as well. In the same language, you can say the same thing but mean something completely different. And I hope reading your book, we'll understand in future when we speak to European lawyers what words to use and what words not to use. Well, Hardeep, my warmest congratulations, and I hope that the delay in getting this book today formally released is only going to improve the flavor of the book when we actually read it, as indeed the flavor of the evening that you will all, I'm sure, enjoy immensely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I seek your blessings. Thank you very much for your kind words. And I would request Mr. Mandeep to please give the token of regard, which we would like to honor. Above all, today, as we all have been lucky to have the Honorable Law and Justice Minister to be amongst us, and I'm grateful to you, sir, for releasing the first edition and for the kind words and for your encouragement. And sir, under your patronage, being the head of the law and justice of our country, India, I assure you, sir, there have been a lot of opportunities if the law is as the Honorable Minister has addressed during his words, that we need to invite the lawyers and the jury from the European courts, because as earlier we shared amongst during a conversation over the ongoing function that the Apex Court, the Honorable Supreme Court of India, today is as parallel towards the Supreme Court of UK. And above all, the profession has attained, the law profession has attained a high dignity and respect in a short span, as earlier in the coming period we have been seeing certain uncertain scenes in our profession. But today we see the young budding new lawyers have and thrust and move with the decorated uniform, with the badge and the logo, at least in the state high courts, which we are missing today, sir, in the district courts. So the place I belong to, Ludhiana, which is called the largest city in Punjab, in North India, being precisely, and as we are very proud to have a young dynamic leader and a lawyer, Mr. Manish Tiwari, who is the sitting member of Parliament. But above all, sir, the district courts needs a lot of thirst over the working. There's a lot of workload we have noticed. But above all, if we see today, the role of the bars has been quite positive towards the upgradation of the judicial system in India today, sir. So at least now, in every small town of Punjab, we have air-conditioned courts, which was a very rare thing. And I'm sure, under your patronage and about certain personal amendments which we always read in the dailies over your views and your innovative vision to upgrade the legal system in our country. And I'm sure, sir, we'll gain heights, not heights, colossal heights, towards the uplift of this system. And sir, I'm very much grateful to you for sparing your valuable time to be amongst with us. And above all, sir, I will be within a week submitting a set of 5 books for the library of Supreme Court, which I have mentioned to Mr. Parakh and Mr. Kaushik, and seeking time at your availability, few set of books for the Justice, your Good Office Law and Justice Minister, Office in Shastri Bhavan for the library. And above all, I request that the legal chapter, which is on the Indian legal education comparing, should, if being acknowledged or taken as a worthwhile, may be mentioned in the syllabus of the law students, which will be of immense use, as they are quite instant newcomers when they reach the bench or may say to the court floor after their degree. Thank you very much, sir. I'm grateful, and I request everybody to join us for dinner. Thank you, sir.
You give my best wishes. We were at Oxford together. He was teaching and I was teaching at that time. So
He just finished a report.
he had just, when he was leaving Oxford, he had done this big book on equality and constitutional law, and he's just spent a lot of time together. But please give him my best wishes. A lawyer. Justice Pal Singh, retired judge from a high court. How should we say nice to meet you? Nice to meet you. He's a master. You've done it. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. But thank God I kept you reaching the top. Hi, Mr. Brad. How do you do? Your friend, that's right. Alma is the author also. How do you get well? Hi, my friend. Are you lawyer as well? Not lawyer. Hello. Evening. Namaskar, how do you do? I must say, solid support you have. Outstanding. Thank you, sir. Very nice to meet you. Just that. Hi. My brothers. Hi, Delhi. Hi, Abhimanyu. So I must have a glass of wine. I won't have anything. I won't have a glass of wine. Wine. How are you? I won't have anything. I have still one more event to go. How are you? No worries. Wine is not something you can drink in a hurry. We'll spend it evening. That's it. Judiciary, thank you, sir. Judiciary, and you, sir.
May this take you to
Stand now. Let us not be